Hi, good morning.
Good morning, good evening. Hello.
Yep. So today is our last session, right? So
Yeah.
any doubts or anything which you want to get covered?
Uh, like I did want to get threads covered, but I don't know. Like,
We'll do one thing. We are in that group, right? You can
yeah,
attempt any interviews. If let's say if they're asking you about the threads, then definitely we will cover it. Correct. But I
y-
don't think it's okay. At this stage, you could take overburden of the threads because threads itself, it will not get covered in one session, honestly speaking. At least we need 3 to 4 sessions to understand what are the threads in detail,
yeah, yeah.
right? So if they're asking you about the threads in each and every interviews, then definitely you can ping me. We'll use the same link. We will connect it up one more time. I'll talk with the Apeksha. Then we will cover the entire threads thing, right?
Yeah.
Anything apart from that? Again, STL is a part of C++ only, but few companies do ask about the STLs. Few companies they do not prefer. In my first company where I have worked almost for 3 years, so they were using STLs very extensively. In my current company, they do not use any STLs, right? And even they are not allowing us to use any STLs. So we have to make use of array only.
Okay.
So that's why I have not covered that part. Yeah, if you want those things to be covered, just ping in the group that yeah, these topics are remaining, or I want to cover these topics as well. Then I'll talk with the Apeksha and then we can go ahead with those topics. Teaching those topics I don't have any issues, but currently I'm focusing on the interview part. So for the interview part, yeah, whatever we have studied in last 4 to 5 sessions or whatever the number of sessions are there, those are the most crucial part. If you able to answer these questions correctly, it will be great. Okay.
Okay.
And then let's say if you want to cover those topic as well, or let's say someone is asking you about those topic, we will cover that, no worries. Correct. you
Yeah.
can you can drop a message in the group and we'll talk with the Apeksha and we will ask for 1 or 2 sessions or based on the topics. Clear.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there was enum and union, like those.
Okay. uh in terms of in whenever you are going to give the interview on C++, no one is going to ask you about the unions, correct? Because
Yeah.
uh, the reason why we are learning C++ and OOPS, we want to replace the structure and union part, correct? Whenever we start learning a class from C++, we compare it with the structure. The difference between these two is, whenever you compare, let's say a structure is there and a class is there, you can write methods in the structure as well, right? But you cannot do polymorphism, you cannot do uh, method overriding, you cannot do the inheritance part. You do not have any, you cannot perform any object oriented approaches on the structure, correct?
Yeah.
You do not have constructor, you do not have destructor in the structures. You can write any method, n number of methods, that's possible.
Yeah.
Plus you do not have any access specifier, that is you cannot make your data as private protected in case of structure. So that's why we have introduced classes, right? Now if
Yeah.
we see the difference between a structure and a union, the difference is, for structure, each and every data member or each and every member of the structure will get a separate memory, correct? But
Yeah.
in case of union, they all will not get a separate memory. So whatever the maximum size of an element is there, we will get that memory only. So let's say we have defined uh, a double, a float, or let's say an integer, right? So
Yeah.
for this we need only 4 bytes, correct? So ideally if we define these 3 variables in the structure, we will get size as 12, because to store an integer we need 4 bytes, to store an float we need 4 bytes, to store an uh, double we need 4 bytes. But in case of union says no, uh, even though we have 3 members, but I'll just allocate only 4 bytes of memory, so at a time you can store only one element out of these three. So let's say initially I have stored integer, and next time if I try to store, let's say, a double value, the previous value will get overridden, the integer value. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Clear? But if you are learning C++, and I mean, currently if you see in the market, without any object oriented approach, no new applications gets developed. So everyone wants to go with the OOP, right?
Yeah.
And H2 doesn't support it,
Yeah.
right? So that's the only difference between union and structure. Apart from that, if you compare a structure and class, again that's valid. Yes, plus, I mean, since my last 6 years of career, okay, almost 6.5 is there. I have never created a single structure. I have never created a single union.
Yeah.
Last 6 years, I have seen at least a structure there. The structure was there, but union, no. Okay.
Okay.
About trading, yeah, if you want to explore those things, definitely. I mean, I'll suggest just give 1 or 2 interviews on C++. Make sure that you are answering all the questions confidently and correctly. If everything is fine, and if you think that, yeah, I want to explore those things as well, then we can schedule a few more sessions again. Is it
Okay.
okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, you will get overburdened. I mean, already we have studied a lot of things in a very short frame, right?
Yeah.
Again, putting pressure of, let's say, threads or STLs, it will be a bit difficult for you. So either we can do it in 2 phases. So in first phase, we have studied about the OOPS, everything. If everything is clear and you are confident in those things, then we can go for the threads as well. I don't have any problem. Okay. But initially, let's try to cover all these topics.
Okay.
Yeah. So shall we start?
Yeah.
Okay, so just share your screen, and I hope you are solving all the assignments from different
Yeah. Yeah. I do have the code actually. I can show you.
code editor, notepad, whatever is fine with you, you can go with it. Okay.
I'll open code blocks.
Yeah, fine. No issues. Let me know once you open it.
Yeah. It takes a while to open code.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. It is up now.
You can create a project or you can use an existing. We just need a .cpp file.
Okay.
Yeah, fine. Either you can comment it or it's up to you. I mean, it's your choice. Okay, I don't have any issues. So what I'm worried about is I mean, what exactly you are going to write. So there is no need to write anything in the main. I mean, whenever needed, I'll tell you explicitly that you have to write it inside the main. Okay,
Okay.
you can complete entire code, and we'll see how we can do it. Fine.
Yeah.
Get char and return 0. It should be uncommented.
Okay.
So we'll start with your introduction. So will you please brief me about yourself?
Yeah. I'm a software professional with over 3 years of experience. Recently, I was working with this company called Selligent Marketing Cloud. I was working with technologies like C++, Python, Java, and Perl, and I got laid off. So I'm currently looking for a new role. I have before this, I have worked as a graduate research assistant while I was doing my master's at Indiana University.
Mhm.
And before that, I worked for 2 years as a software engineer at Persistent Systems. I worked on two different projects. I mainly worked as a full stack developer. One project was a banking portal, and the other one was a cloud platform.
Mhm.
And while I was doing my undergrad in computer engineering, I worked as a project intern in my final year,
Okay.
working with computer vision and machine learning. It was a an ensemble method approach to solving food contamination issues in beverages. So right now I'm looking for a job, and I'm hoping to be a part of your esteemed company.
Mhm.
I believe that I have the required skills to be a part of this company and contribute really well to your project.
Okay. So let's take a situation. So let's say you have two opportunities, one in C++ and another is in Python. So what will you choose?
For writing a project, right?
No, I mean, let's say in the same company there are two opportunities, correct? One
Yeah.
opportunity is there for C++ developer and another opportunity is there for the Python developer. What will you choose? I mean, where are you more comfortable, in C++ or Python?
I would give, even though I really like C++, I have been learning it
Mhm.
since years. I do
Mhm.
feel that I would give a slight edge to Python, because Python for me is a more recent language in terms of learning, because all my graduate program courses were had Python in them. I
Mhm.
have worked with Python in machine learning, even in software engineering before. So I would give slight edge to Python, but C++ also I'm some is something that I'm very comfortable in.
Okay, because these two are completely different, right? So when you talk about the C++ and Python, those are the opposite ends of opposite ends, correct?
Yeah.
So how much comfortable you are in C++? So let's say if you want to rate yourself in C++ on a scale of 10, where the 1 means the lesser score, 10 means the higher. So how much you will rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
Around 7 to 7.5.
Shall I consider it 7.5?
Yeah, 7.5.
And for Python,
8.
there is not much difference, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's just I've been trained like that. Even while I was working at Persistent, my training was in C++ and Python as well. So because of
Okay.
that,
Okay. So what's your approach? I mean, whenever you see a problem statement or whenever you find a problem statement, so do you think in a Python way or a C++ way? Because I mean, the approach used for both the languages are completely different.
yeah. If it's like a small competitive coding problem, I
Hmm?
think I use Python a lot. So there I think of it in Python, but where if you're modeling like a real life problem, where there are like, if let's say there's an you're dealing with like employees, and there are objects around, objects in it involved, then I would go with C++.
Okay.
Uh, so it would depend on the problem. I can
I mean,
approach.
I don't
uh,
think so that uh, all the problem statements which can be solved using Python can be solved using C++ as well.
yeah,
Correct. And
yeah,
vice versa is also possible, right?
yeah.
Yep. One more question. So, shall I give you feedback at the end or immediately? Let's say
Uh,
if we're talking on a topic, so shall I note it down each and everything and give you feedback at the end, or if that topic is finished and immediately I should give you feedback? What
uh,
will you prefer?
Immediately is fine.
Okay. So why I asked you about this? So why while explaining or while introducing yourself, you have explore. I mean, just imagine this is we are learning C++, right? So this interview is based on C++ only, correct? So
Okay.
I explained a lot of things on Python. That's why I have asked you about the why C++. I mean C++ or Python. If you say Python, then give me one reason why should I select you.
Oh, it just I thought it was more
Yeah,
of a
yeah,
real, but I
yeah,
would I adjusted according to, like, if it's a C plus plus role, I would
yeah,
say C
correct.
plus plus.
So whenever, yeah, obviously. So whenever someone will ask you C++ or Python, if it's a Python interview, the position is open for the Python, then you have to tell that, yeah, definitely I'll go with the Python because I have worked a lot on Python, correct?
Yeah.
If it's C++ interview, in that scenario, even though you do not like it, correct? So you have to tell that no, C++ is more better because we have a lot of control in C++, but Python doesn't give us all the controls, correct?
Yeah.
So C++ is more powerful as compared to Python. So I'll choose C++ in all scenarios. Clear?
Yeah, yeah,
Fine. I hope this was clear to you, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So can you explain me the four pillars of OOPS?
Yeah, the four pillars of OOPS are abstraction,
Mhm.
encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphisms. So,
Okay.
abstraction is a concept where you hide the implementation details, like complex
Mhm.
implementation details, and you show only what is necessary to the user while working with an object. It is basically to ensure that you don't have too much complex, you're not burdening the user with too much complexity. Let's say
Correct.
you have a car, so the
Mhm.
user knows how to just turn on the key and start the car,
Correct.
press the accelerator. He doesn't need to know what goes on behind, how's the engine working, how the fuel being supplied to it. So
Correct. But
abstraction is that. Then encapsulation is a concept in C++ where you are bundling the data and methods,
mhm.
all of those, the data and the methods into a single unit, which is usually
Mhm.
a class, and
Correct.
you're sort of restricting direct access to some of components.
Mhm.
It is You're trying to prevent some unintentional interference, misuse. You're protecting it in a way,
Correct.
and
Correct.
you're bundling it so that that's better understanding of it as well. Like as we perceive things in real life, we perceive
Mhm.
things in programming as well. So if you, let's say if you have like a bank account, so there will be variables attached to it, like the balance would be there, your personal details like your name, your address, everything. So it will
Mhm.
also have functionalities like you would be able to add to the money that you have in the bank account. So deposit or withdraw the money. So things like that. So you're able to model that in C++, and that's a
Mhm.
really great feature, and that for me really describes what encapsulation means.
Okay.
Then we come to polymorphism. So you have objects of different classes which can be treated as objects of common superclass, or you can have functions with multiple forms.
Mhm.
You So you can have a function with same name, but it can have different parameters. You can achieve different like a same flavor of the functionality using different data types, different return types,
Mhm.
and you can achieve this sort of polymorphism either during compile time or during runtime. So in compile time polymorphism, you're doing method overloading where you're changing the functionality a bit to carry out the operation that you want. Let's say you're working with complex numbers and you want to add complex numbers. So for that, you need to tweak the functionality slightly. So you overload that plus operator so that it will add the corresponding real and imaginary values in a
Mhm.
complex numbers. And there's also real time runtime polymorphism where you're dealing with which function to choose while working with classes where there's ambiguity about which function to choose. So there
Mhm.
you work with inheritance and virtual functions. So that's my segue into inheritance. So in inheritance, you are deriving, if you have a base class or a base class and its all its functionalities, then you try to derive some of its methods and fields so that you're not repeating your code,
Mhm.
and it makes the code much more easier to write, much more efficient. So let's say you have this class called animal class, and
Mhm.
then there are various types of animals. So for each animal, if you want to write a separate class, you won't write all the functionalities again and again. You might tweak some of the functionalities, so you don't need to write the whole code again and again. So because of that, you use inheritance. You derive that class dog or class tiger from the animal class, and so you're able to reuse your code that, and it is very efficient. And there you also deal with runtime polymorphism. That is where the ambiguity comes while calling some method.
Mhm.
uh, there might be some ambiguity as to which method should be called at runtime. So there you use the keyword virtual in the base class, so that you're able to work with derived class objects and call their functions as well. So these are the main pillars of OOPS. They make C++ a really good modular, scalable language. It makes programming easier, and it makes the life of users easier in a way, because when you're able to write good code, the functionalities are implemented really well, and the users, they don't have to deal with the complexities of the program, and they are just able to use the application comfortably.
So there is a concept called as composition. Do you know about it? What is composition?
Composition is when you call a function, you pass a function as a parameter.
No, we create objects of another class in a one class. So let's take an example. If we talk about the car class, we can create a car class. We can create a class called as engine, and inside car class we can create objects of engine
Okay.
class. So that is composition. So do you know what exactly it is?
No.
Okay, no worries. We'll cover that into today only. Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
I mean, I just noticed that. So let me just.
Should I stop sharing?
No, just reference per se. In those topics which are not covered, so I'm just making a note of it. So maybe after this we will cover those topics. Okay,
Okay.
no worries. So now you have to just write a code. Okay, so let's say you have an array. So you can take any array of any size. Choice is yours. You can add some random elements.
Uh, should I give it like a data type?
Yeah. So I'm just passing an array. I'm just giving. Just check the chat.
Okay.
Now you have to write a function which will give me all the pairs, which gives me the addition as, let's say, 5. So if I pass this array to a function, ideally it should return me all the indexes. So it should be a pair of indexes, I will say. So let's say index, I want addition of two numbers which are 5. So let's say the first possibility is 2 plus 3, correct? So
Yeah.
as a result, what I should get is, uh, this is again an array. You can use vector as well, it's your choice. So I
Yeah.
should get only the indexes. Okay, so let's say 1 comma 2, then 0 comma 3.
Yeah.
So I'm just pasting in the chat. So this is the expected output. I hope you are able to understand. So 1203, 1 comma 2 comma 0 comma 3. So the first two pairs, it is going to give me the addition as, I mean, if I go to that index, the first index, second index, if I add that, I'll get addition as 5, correct?
Yeah.
If I go to index 0, index 3, I'll get addition as 5. So even the fourth index, it gives me 5, but it's not a pair, right? It's a single unit. So I don't want that.
Yeah.
So
So
either
one and two is a pair, and zero and three is another
3 is
pair.
another pair. So either you can return 1 comma 2, 1 2 0 3, or you can return me 0 3 1 2. Both are fine.
Okay.
Correct?
Yeah. So for this, the approach I'll try to take is sort of using. So since I think array is a bit limiting, I'll go with the vector.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go. Okay, I'll just keep this int. So vector int. So this is the array that I want to use.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Now, as a
So
result, I need another vector or array. You can choose anything, or you can just print it on console as well. I don't
yeah.
have any.
So for this problem, I would use like for storing the result, I would use like a result vector.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, if I'm storing pairs, so I would use like this
There's no
double.
need to use pairs because these are only indexes, right? So by
Yeah.
default, looking at that, I'm able to understand it. I mean, it's by default in pair, you can assume. So it will give me only vector of integer.
Okay. So so
Instead of, I mean, whatever you were writing, that is correct, but there is no need to write pair.
okay.
Okay.
So just I can use like this.
Int, yeah, only int,
Okay.
and you
Okay.
can just push.
Normal.
Yep,
No. Okay.
this is easy, right? So you just have to push all the possible. Let's say if I got 6 values, so I'll make sure that yeah, first two refers to, I mean, the index 0, index 1 refers to one pair, then 2, 3 refers to another pair. I'll
Okay.
make sure.
Okay. Okay. So the main thing is you have to always obviously go through the loop to find all the numbers which might add up to this. So you will require this for loop. So
Okay.
the approach that I'm trying to think of is you're already given the target. So should I assume like you have mentioned the target, right, in the chat?
Yeah, correct. So the target is already given. You can assume any value.
In target equal to 5. So I'm not writing a function, I'm just writing it in the main right
Yeah,
now.
it's fine. It's fine.
So in
You
target is
can
5.
assume that you are writing this inside a function only. No worries.
Yeah, so we'll assume that we already have one of the numbers and we are trying to find the other number. So if the target is 5, I would choose one of the numbers, let's say 1. So 5 minus 1 is 4. So I'm trying to find the complement, you can say complement of the number, so
Mhm.
that I would get a pair. So that is the approach I'm going with. So for that, I would actually need another data structure. I would need uh, a map, uh, an unordered map, let's say. So I would use uh, this unordered map vector key value pair in a way.
Mhm.
So if you have this, and I would use it. Is it okay? Hash map is not allowed.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
not. You can just say H map.
H map. Okay, yeah, that is better. So if I have the target 5, so I'll just first calculate the complement. So for each number, I'll find the complement, which is the difference between the uh, target and the array size. Not the array size, array I.
Yeah,
So
correct.
target minus array I.
Mhm.
So if I find the number that I want,
Mhm.
uh, complement. If I find the number that I want.
Hello.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. Yeah, okay. It should not be the end index. So if the value that I found is not the end index, that means it's the correct value that I found, the index for the complement.
Mhm.
So if I find that, then I would add all the pairs of indices that I found. So in I've solved a similar problem like this.
Mhm. But currently H map is empty, right? We do not have any data in H map.
Yeah.
So do we really need H map? What will happen if, let's say, if you find the complement and if you search that in ARR, correct,
Uh,
line number 70 to 73, correct? Instead of
yeah.
searching that element in a hash map, what will happen if you search it in the array?
Uh, yeah, it is possible.
Right, so there is no need to make use of hash map, right? Currently it is not needed.
Yeah.
So if you found the, I mean, you know the complement now, you just have to check whether that complement is present in the the vector or no. Correct.
Yeah.
Same method which you are finding through hmap, you have to find it using array.
Yeah. So I think I'll just comment this code for now. So I'll use like a more simplified approach. Int
Mhm.
j equal to uh let's say I
I plus 1.
yeah I plus 1. J will be less than uh again the size, it will iterate till the end.
Mhm.
So if uh if complement if ar j equal to complement, I'll just compare the values, right?
Okay.
And then I would push
You
back.
have a find method, right, in the vector?
Yeah.
Do we have a find method in vector? I guess we have a method to find an element in the vector.
Okay. I'll just confirm. I think there is. But we need to get the index, right?
Yeah, we will get that. No worries.
Okay.
We'll get the iterator actually.
Okay. So air dot find complement.
It will work.
So
What
if
exactly it does, I don't know.
uh, so if this value exists,
Hmm.
if this value exists, I need to push. I need to equate it to j and push the.
Correct.
Uh,
The indexes.
so I'll just I'll just push back I and j here for now.
Mhm.
I think I'll just separate them. I think you can't push it at the same time. So I'm trying to remember. Uh,
Okay. So let's suppose, I mean, everything is working fine, but still I'm able to figure out one issue. So let's say I have only two elements. Let's say I have the array size is 2. Okay. So I have 0th index, I have first index. Just make a dry run and tell me whether your code will work or it will give me an exception. I think it will give me an exception.
yeah. I think the two loop approach would not work in this way.
It will work, but it will throw you an exception.
Okay.
So
So
so if it's an, so see, very first thing, if it's an vector, there is no need of second for loop. Okay. If you
yeah.
are not going to make use of any STLs, in that scenario, apart from for loops, you do not have any alternate option. So you have
Yeah.
to make use of second for loop. Okay, no worries. You can try it later. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm, now, can you write the syntax for copy constructor? Or can you tell me the scenario when we need a copy constructor?
Yeah. So copy constructors are needed when we need to initialize like a object based on using another object of a similar class.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have class ABC,
Mm-hmm.
then it will always be public, obviously. So a simple copy constructor would be uh, copy constructor would be something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So should I define like some members?
Yep, we'll be needing that.
So I'll just so it will be like A equal to this dot A equal to second dot A. So this is used to implicitly point to the current class current object. So this will be the copy constructor that is being used.
Okay.
So usually when we are doing like a shallow copy, so it will copy. It will only copy. It will not make a new copy for all the copying that you're doing of an object.
Okay.
And in deep copy, when you're copying all the members of a container into a new container, it will have separate copies for each.
Okay. So in this scenario, do we need a copy constructor? I mean, what are you doing in copy constructor? Is it a deep copy or a shallow copy?
If I'm explicitly defining a copy constructor of my own, then it's a deep copy.
But currently you are not assigning any new members, right? So let's take an example. Comment the copy constructor.
Okay.
You just write the constructor. Only constructor. I mean, you can comment copy constructor.
Yeah.
Parameterize constructor.
Okay.
Create one object of it. You can pass any values.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll just write complete the parameterized
Yeah,
constructor
fine.
first. I'll just. There's no way to comment this using one command. I don't know why.
I don't know. I have not used code blocks.
Okay. So this is it, right?
Yep.
So
Just
ABC underscore obj is the object.
okay.
Or
Just
should
pass.
I
No,
pass
just
some?
yeah. You have to pass it because we do not have default constructor, right?
Should I pass some values?
Yeah, yeah. Pass 10, 20, 30.
Okay.
Create one new object. So just give a1 or a2. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. In bracket, just pass ABC object. So what
ABC.
exactly happening currently? Is it a ABC underscore object?
Yeah. Sorry.
So is now we do not have any constructor, right? So is
Yeah.
it creating a deep copy or a shallow copy?
It's creating a shallow copy.
Correct. Now what is the problem with shallow copy? If you run this code, you can execute this code.
Yeah. I don't know why it is showing an error.
Okay. On which line?
This one.
Line number?
10.
Okay, 10. Just scroll up. This arrow, not dot. This
Oh.
arrow.
Oh yeah. Sorry. It's a pointer. So
So is it not giving us any error, right? Just press enter.
Yeah, it's not giving any error.
So do we need that copy constructor? Even though if you uncomment the copy constructor, it is not giving us any error. Then
Yeah.
why the need of copy constructor?
If the copied object is destroyed, it will the
You can you can write the second block in second object in the block. Just scroll down.
yeah
Just provide a block. I mean, just write curly braces. Yeah, you can just copy line number 101 in line in the inside the block. Just cut paste it. Correct. So you can see after this we are going to call the destructor for even. Correct. The moment we are going to destroy this object. Correct.
yeah
To check it, we can write destructor as well. But trust me, it is going to give call to the destructor.
yeah
But it is not giving us any error.
yeah
So do we really need copy constructor? Then what is the, I mean, do we, the very first thing is, in this scenario, do we really need copy constructor?
No, because we are dealing with statically allocated memory. There are no pointers here, so there's no dynamic allocation here.
So this was expected earlier.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. When we need copy constructor, if there is a dynamically allocated memory in the class, then and only then we need. By
Yeah.
default, the compiler is providing us the copy constructor. Na?
Yeah.
He's going to create a shallow copy, and we don't
Yeah.
want to do that. That's why we are writing our own copy constructor, and instead of giving the same memory, we are creating a new memory.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, since last 2 to 4 minutes, we were telling each and everything except deep copy and shallow copy. Okay.
Yeah.
So whenever there is a pointer in the class, at that time we allocate memory dynamically. In that scenario, we need copy constructor.
Yeah. Because
Clear?
in shallow copy, you're not creating
Exactly.
objects,
Exactly.
object copies. You're just copying like the
Exactly.
memory address, so
You
it's
were
pointing.
explaining it was kind of complementary. So this was not needed at all. Even though you do not explain these things, it's completely fine. What you have to explain is if compiler is by default going to provide us a copy constructor which is going to create a shallow copy, meaning it is not going to assign a new memory for a new object.
Yeah.
Correct. If all the data members are, I mean, we are not allocating any memories dynamically, in that scenario it is going to work fine. But the moment we allocate a memory dynamically for new object, a new memory will not get assigned. Both the objects will point to the same memory, and one out of those two objects goes out of scope. The destructor is going to get called and it is going to delete that memory. Correct.
Yeah.
And another object will become dangling. In such scenario, we don't want to happen like this. So in such scenarios, we create our own copy constructor, and we, instead of creating shallow copy, we go for the deep copy.
Yeah.
Okay.
By creating a copy constructor.
Exactly. So in normal case, we do not need copy constructor. When we
Yeah.
need it, if there is a dynamically allocated memory, in that scenario only.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you know what is virtual keyword?
Yeah. Virtual keyword is let the compiler know that the implementation of that function is not there, and you can skip that function in a way. It is usually used in inheritance.
Okay. So the moment we write a function virtual, something changes from the compile side.
Yeah.
So the size of the class gets changes. So is there, I mean, what is the need of that, or why why such thing happens? Why the size is getting increased? If we make a,
because because a thing called virtual pointer, v pointer gets created, and a table is created to keep track of all the virtual pointers. So the pointer by default has size like 4 bytes or 8 bytes depending on the compiler. So because of that, the size of the class changes.
so do you know what is vtable and vptr?
Yeah, I'm familiar with them.
Okay.
uh, So VPTR is a pointer that is maintained for each object of classes which are virtual. So it points to the v table, and v table is the static table which is created during compilation that stores addresses of all virtual functions of a class. So each class will have its own v table, and if there are three virtual functions in one class, so it will have contain record of that
Fine.
all three
Just
classes.
create a new file. So we'll write the code, probably the last or second last.
Okay.
Okay, so what you have to do is you have to create 4 classes. Okay.
Okay.
The scenario is you have to create one base class and 3 derived classes. So you can give any name, it's your choice, or simply you can give name A, B, C, D. So class A is the parent class, class B is child class C is again child class D is again a child class of A. Correct? So
Yeah.
class A is parent of all the 3 classes. Okay.
Yeah.
Just write this hierarchy, and then one by one we will add some functionalities to it, and we will
Okay.
be writing our own main, and we'll just see which things will get called in what scenario. Okay.
Okay. Let's, oh, sorry. I add a colon there. Class C, public A, and class D, public A. What should I name this file?
You can give any name, anything. So the names are like
I'll write this right IO stream.
I'm just creating the main for you. You can write get char and okay. Just write constructor and destructor in each class.
Okay. But are there any data members, or should I just leave it as
You
empty?
can leave it empty.
Okay. I'll just add public later. I'm just copying it for now. Public, public. Yeah.
Fine, destructor as well.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Uh,
Plus add 3 functions. You can name it as function 1, function 2, function 3.
okay.
I have pasted main for you.
Okay. And sorry.
You can paste that in
Yeah.
main. So you have to create these 3 functions. Okay, function 1, function 2, function 3.
Yeah.
Fine. Leave all the functions as empty. That is fine. No worries.
Okay. So do I have to write all three functions in
Just
in
write all 3 functions in class A. Rest of the things we'll see one by one. Okay.
okay. So what will be the return type? Should I just void?
Void.
Okay.
Just
Two.
fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, just tell me if we execute the first line. Okay.
Just executing the first line. Yeah.
What will happen? Which constructors will get called? Line number 45. So you have to just add a comment in front of it, and you just have to tell me what constructors will get called. Line
Uh,
number 45. Line number 45.
oh, yeah. So uh, I think the constructor that will be called is for base class A. So it will
Okay.
be only A will be called,
Nothing else, right?
nothing else.
You can add semicolon. I forgot to add that. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
line number 46.
Again A, only A.
Which function will get called?
Only function one.
Function one from which class?
A.
Okay. Can you make all these three functions as virtual in base class?
Yeah, we can make.
Yeah, you can write all these three as virtual. Do it. I mean, make it virtual.
Okay.
Fine. You can copy paste it.
Yeah.
Now, which functions will get called?
When we
Line
are
number 6.
line number 46.
Yes.
Line number 46. It will it will not throw an error, right? It will still call that function. Or no, it won't.
I don't know.
No, it won't throw an error. No, it won't.
What will get called?
Function one,
Function one from which class?
A.
Okay. For the next line.
Again, same.
Okay. Again, jump to the next line. What is the next line? What you
Function
have to
three.
do is, now what you have to do is you have to override that function. Function one in class B, function two in class C, function and all three functions in class D. Just
Okay.
override all these functions. Okay.
Okay.
You can just copy paste
So function one in class B, right?
it. Class B, right? Yep. Just remove the virtual keyword.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I'm just copy and then
Function second in
function second in class C,
and all three functions in class
D. Okay. Sorry. I'll just copy the first two again. Yeah.
Okay. Now you have to tell me which functions will get called.
From where?
Line number 57. Just you have to just write the class name. Okay. It's fine. I mean, if you write only A, I'll understand that it is going to get called from the A, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So this is the constructor of A. The function one will get called from class A. Okay. Again from class A. Okay. Class A, fine.
Yeah.
Line number 60.
So constructor from B will be called,
Okay.
and then function one.
B or what?
Sorry.
Only B.
And also A, since we are using the
Okay.
A object pointer.
Exactly.
So
Next line.
since we are overriding it from B, it will call
Mhm.
the function from B. This
Okay.
will be called from A. Oh,
Okay. You can
and
write small
this
A. It's fine.
no, it's not. Yeah, so
Okay.
this will be the order
Okay.
for
Line number
C,
55.
A comma C.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this will be A, this will be B, and
Okay.
this, sorry, not C,
Let's see.
C, and this will be A,
Okay.
and this will be A comma D,
Okay.
and all three will be called from D, as we are overriding them from D. So
Okay. So
yeah.
now I have made a mistake in this code. So are you able to realize that? So I made a mistake. It is not going to give you any compiler error. I mean inside main only, not in your
Oh,
classes. I'll give you a hint. The destructor is not going to get called.
Yeah, because we are deriving it and there might be an issue. So we need to create like we need to delete the this thing, delete the A object.
Correct. So you can write delete statement.
Star
Okay, now,
delete A.
correct. So you have to delete it for 4 times. I mean, on line number 59, line number 64, line number
Oh,
69.
oh, okay.
Is
Because
the,
we are redefining it again.
not on the same line, on the spaces where I have left the blank space.
Okay.
Line 59. Yep.
Oh, okay.
You have to
Yeah.
tell me which destructors will get called.
Okay. Yeah. The order of destructors, right?
Yeah, correct.
Uh, so now usually the order of destructors, even though it is in reverse, but we are explicitly deleting the object. So once
Line 59, which destructors will get called and what is the sequence?
it will just be A destructor for A will be called, destructor for B and then A, C and then A again,
Mhm.
and destructor for D and A again.
Okay. Now do one thing. Inside destructor, just write a cout statement, and you have to just write down the name of that class. Okay. So yesterday cout, just write the name A or destructor of A. Okay, it's fine. Okay, cout of yeah, just end that. Okay.
Yeah.
The
Or just A, right?
yeah,
Or not
just
a,
it's fine.
okay. Okay.
Do the same for all the destructors and run the program.
Okay. Okay.
Just run the program, check the output.
Yeah, I'll just the objects for uh, B, C, D are not called the
Destruct.
destructor.
Yes. Why so?
I think we are explicitly deleting A. I think that is why there is a mistake that way.
But we have created the object of B as well, right? So line number 66, 73. I have pasted something in the chat. Okay, you can copy that below this code. And
Uh,
in that scenario, everything will work fine. Now
uh,
you just tell me what is happening. Okay, I'll just need a break for 2 minutes. You can analyze both the codes. Okay, you can, if needed, you can copy paste it here. You can run it multiple times.
okay.
I'm in front of screen, but I just need a break for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And once I'm back, I'll just ping you or I'll just unmute myself. I just need 2 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Should I just copy paste
You can
and
try.
run?
Yeah. You can try them. I mean, you just have to analyze the code. Okay. You
Okay.
can try it. You can run it. You can do anything. Whatever you want to do it. Do it.
Okay. Okay.
The name got duplicated. That's why it is giving you error. You have to change the name. Line number 90.
Where
Line number 90.
where
Just instead of
where
A, write A1. Line number 90 from 90.
okay.
The name of pointer. Yeah, build it.
Yeah, I think I just commented this code, so it shouldn't be
Okay.
bad.
What is the error?
Request for member of A1, which is of virtual.
Yeah,
Okay.
in this scenario, you have to
Non-class type A.
just remove the virtual keyword.
Yeah. Still showing error.
Really, currently, there is no need to show error.
It's the same error, right?
Uh, yep. Delete should not be there. Okay, no worries. We'll try to figure it out.
Non-class type A. Function 1. Yeah, we written it correctly. It should
Everything
be
is
right.
written correctly. Don't know, maybe the issue with the compiler. I'll try it on Visual Studio. No worries.
Yeah.
So the problem is why the destructor is not getting called in previous case.
Destructor wasn't in previous case.
Yeah, in this scenario, we can see we have created objects of.
A, B, C, D.
Yep. If you write the whatever we have printed in the destructors, if you write that statement in the constructor, you will notice that the constructors are getting called,
Yeah.
but the destructors are not getting called.
Because we are pointing to that user, like the pointer is of object A and it is storing the address. So
Mhm.
when we are explicitly deleting, it won't directly go to the destructor because you're directly deleting the memory location itself from A. So you're deleting A explicitly. So because of that, the destructor won't
Let's
get
see
called.
if I want to call the destructor of B. What is the option?
We need to make the virtual destructor for A.
Right. Correct. The base class destructor is not virtual. That's why it is just calling the base class destructor and not the derived class destructor. If you make the base class destructor as virtual, then all the destructors will get called. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. Anything else? Let me check. Okay, probably the last question now. Okay, so what was that question? Just a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is an array. You can take any array, any size, and you have to find the second max from that array,
Not the maximum.
not maximum. It's the second maximum.
Okay. So the logic that I'm trying to think of is first I'll find the maximum element from the array and then remove it, and then again find the maximum, which would be the second max element.
Remove it from array.
Yeah. Or I can just sort
You
it
can,
in ascending order or descending order. Right?
you can try. You can try writing the code so that I'll understand.
Okay. So second max element. Should I create another file?
You can write in the same file or you can write in new file. It's your choice.
Okay. So I think I'll just create a new file. Second CPP. So are there any built-in sorting methods in C++? I don't think so. There are.
std sort will work.
Okay. So that is maximum.
Any another approach without sorting?
Yeah. So I think we can iterate through the array and we can keep track of like two parts, like both the maximum of the array and the second maximum of the array.
Yep, go ahead. There is no need to sort the array.
Yeah. So we can set like int max equal to int minimum, so that like once we encounter the first max, so negative negative minimum value of integer, and second max also will keep the same. So these are just the initial values and we'll change them as we iterate through the loop. So again, we are iterating through the loop and we have this we are passing the array and the size of the array.
Mm-hmm.
So if an element array is greater than the max element, so we obviously need to change the value here. So max will be array. Sure, I'll just change this to maximum because it will be easier that way. Size of array maximum, and we'll use second maximum to store the value which was previously maximum. So so it will be something like that. It's like swapping the values out in a way,
Mm-hmm.
like the so you'll do like this, and if the array value is greater than second maximum and it is not equal to the maximum, that is also another case. And so if we encounter a value which is greater than second maximum but it is not equal to the maximum value, then also we are changing the second maximum, because
Okay.
we are keeping track of second maximum. So this will be it, and then we'll just return the second maximum value.
Fine. Just write the main and pass the array to it.
Yeah, so I'll create like 1 3 2 4 6 5.
It's fine. So
Yeah.
expected answer is 2, right?
No, 5, right? Second largest.
Sorry, it's second maximum. So we are
Yeah.
expecting. Yep.
I'll just store the size here equal to I'll just store keep it 6 for now.
Yeah,
Like I'll
fine.
just find second maximum of air and size here, and see out. I'll maximum is STD and L. Takes a while, and here we go. Sure.
Mm,
Uh, should I just give it like some manual value?
Yeah, you can try with 0. Yeah, fine.
I'll just give like a value like this. Should I just give it 0 then?
Yeah, either you
Or
can try 0 or you can try with -10. So we are not going to write any value. The -1 is fine.
yeah. So it should give. Okay, it should run now. Yeah. Second maximum is 5. Correct.
Perfect. Now just try one thing. Just
Yeah.
remove all the elements from that array. Just pass an empty array of size 0.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't handled the exception. I can do that.
How you can do that?
Uh, oh, so I can like I have to assume that the size of array is some positive value, but the array itself is empty.
Array is empty. How you can do
Uh,
that? So there are two scenarios. The first one is you have 0 elements in the array. Second, you have only one element in the array.
yeah. If uh,
Currently, it has
yeah,
been handled for 0. Okay, so there is no
yeah,
need to handle for 0, because if you are returning -1, it means ideally you can throw an exception as well. If size is 0, you can throw an
yeah,
exception as well.
yeah.
Correct. What if the size is 1?
Uh, you'll just return the first element.
Correct. What if size is 2?
Uh, if size is 2, then I would just it would work, right? It would compare one of the elements and then just
Try with the inputs.
I'll just size of array equal to 2. If I would put another if there, if air 0 greater than air 1. I know if is not the most efficient, but
Okay.
air 1, else if air 0 less than air 1, then return air 0. Else I would print some value and return -1 since both elements are equal, so there won't be any second element.
Yeah, correct. Perfect. Okay, now it's time for the feedback. Before that,
Okay.
do you have any questions? So, what do you think? How was your interview? I mean, this session.
It was good, but I think I still kind of messed up on two sum, and initially I took too much time to get to shallow copy. Like I should have given a more direct answer rather than going through all a lot.
Correct. Anything else?
Apart from that, it
Same happened for the virtual destructor as well.
yeah, no, for second time I was able to answer virtual distance. First time it
I mean,
took.
you were able to answer. You knew the concept, but you were not going to the point. You were just revolving around the solution. Correct.
Yeah.
So you were whatever the answers you were giving, those were 100% correct, but those were not to the point. Correct.
Okay.
You know the concept. You know each and everything, but you were like, I don't know why, but you were like you were answering something else, which was not necessary. Correct.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I think in my head, I'm just trying to give more context, and I feel that whatever I'm thinking, I should say it out loud because I think I've heard that for interviews, it is better to do that way.
Yeah,
But
that's true. But
it might sound like rambling sometimes if I just
exactly, exactly.
keep on talking and it's not to the point and it's
So
just
let's say if I ask you about the copy constructor, so Even if you answer it for 5 times, 5 minutes, I don't have any issues. But what I'm expecting in initial 1 minute, I should hear something about deep copy, shallow copy. Correct?
Yeah.
If I'm not able to answer that, I mean, I'm not able to hear that in, let's say, first 1 minute. So slowly I'll know that you are not aware of these two things. Correct?
Okay.
But if you're answering it in a more elaborative way, that's a good thing. But the main concepts or the main topics or the main words should be highlighted. So if I'm asking about the distractor is not getting called, then you should say, yeah, I know, because we are referring to the pointers and our base class distractor is not virtual. That's why it's not calling. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
to
should have
make it
said
happen,
that
yeah,
immediately.
to make it happen, to make it work, we can make the distractor as virtual and everything will work likewise, right?
Yeah.
Same with the deep copy and shallow copy or the copy constructor. Yeah, by default, compiler provides a copy constructor, so there is no need to write the copy constructor, but it creates shallow copy. Correct? And
Yeah.
then you can explain rest of the things.
Yeah.
So that I mean, at least I will be aware that yeah, you know about the deep copy and shallow copy. Then I'll be interested in listening the rest of the things. Otherwise, if I'm not able to understand, I mean, I'm not able to hear these two words. If I'm asking about the copy constructor, so rest of all things are useless.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else which you noticed?
No, I do feel I'm a bit more confident while answering
You
now,
were
but
confident initially. The way
yeah,
you
like,
answered oops concepts, that was superb. Okay. So I thought that, I mean, I was very impressed with that answer. So you answered in very brief manner. Almost you took almost 6 to 7 minutes, and it was very fluent. Correct.
yeah,
After that, slowly I found that your confidence was lagging.
yeah. I think I should be able to handle when I'm not 100% sure, or if I'm taking time, I should be able to handle that a bit better without like
Exactly. It's
losing my
kind
body.
of whenever I mean, you are feeling nervous now, so you are giving invitation to the person who is going to give interview. I mean, so you are like you are highlighting those things that I'm nervous now.
Okay.
I don't know
Yeah.
the answer. So you have to hide those things. If you do not know the answer, strictly say no, I don't know the answer. Correct?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, not that I can think of.
How much comfortable are you in writing C++ codes? So let's say any pseudo code is there. So we have tried two codes. The first one was related to the array, where you have to uh, return that pair, right? And second one is uh, the one which we tried, the second maximum.
Yeah.
So how much comfortable you were?
Uh, Not that comfortable as I should have been.
Yes.
I need to
Uh,
practice more
exactly.
writing like lead code problems. I did a few, but I need to do more.
Yes. So your approaches were correct, but don't know why, but you were introducing a lot of data structures into it. So unnecessarily. I mean, the way you have introduced map, I don't know. It was not needed at all. Correct?
Yeah, yeah, it was. I think sometimes I translate what I do in Python into this like way
Exactly.
solving problem. Like this
See, the
problem
way
I knew sort of because of Usam
Mhm.
and yeah.
So by practicing the course, it can be solved, but you have to practice it harder. Okay.
Yeah,
You have to
yeah,
try for
definitely.
the optimization. So you have to on day one, I have told you. So even if you able to save the one iteration of for loop, that is more than enough. Correct. So let's say if array is there, you are planning to sort it. So there is no need to sort an array. How much iterations you need?
O
You
of
can you
n
can
log n like n square
exactly
sometimes.
O of n minimum O of n
O
minimum.
of minimum.
Correct.
Yes. Yes.
So why you are wasting those things?
Yeah.
There is no
I
need, right?
shouldn't. No. No need.
The moment we are saying we are going to write a C++ code, what interviewer is expecting, you should be writing a code which has less time complexity and space complexity as well. And what you are
Yeah.
trying to do, you are increasing both the things. If one of
Yeah.
these gets compromised, it's understandable. I mean, yeah, we have to compromise one of these. Correct.
Yeah.
So let's say if I'm saying you have to sort an array, so there are two options. So first option is either I'll sort an array or either I'll create another storage. Correct. If I let's say instead of vectors. If I go for the, let's say, sets, everything will get sorted. If I go for the trees, binary tree, everything will get sorted automatically. I just have to push into the trees. Correct?
Yeah.
It will save the time, but it will get the need the more space, right?
Yeah.
So these answers are not expected in interviews.
Yeah.
Correct? So you know the answers, but try to give this answer in the end. So there are multiple options. Out of those, you have to find this one is the best. This one is taking less time. This one is taking less memory. Whenever a problem statement comes, do not think about the different data structures. If an array is given, correct, you have to play with that array only.
Yeah.
Correct. So I'll store it in different. There is no need. Correct. In our first question, you can see a vector was given. So obviously we cannot remove all the elements from first vector. So that's why we have created the second vector. But if I'm saying we want to sort, so is there any need of second vector? There is no need, right? We can do it
Yeah.
in this vector. We can swap the elements, right?
Yeah.
So what I found is, I mean, whatever you have noticed, all those points were there. Plus, you're not confident in programming. So for that, you have to practice a lot,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, uh, you're more of a Python guy rather than a C++ guy. So the Python, the code, a Python developer writes a code in different way. C++ developer writes a code in different way. So
Yeah.
we have to think about the time complexity. If you are a fresher, it's completely okay. How you are writing code, that doesn't matter for me. But if you're saying I'm a three years of experience, I have 3 years of experience in C++, at that time my expectations are already raised.
Yeah.
So I cannot
Correct.
expect such kind of code. Correct?
Yeah.
So you have to work on these things.
Yeah. I'll definitely work. I'm still working, so it's a learning process.
It's okay. It's completely okay. I don't have any issues. I mean, I know these things are going to take time. So what you have to do is start with hacker rank, start with hacker earth, take any problems related with the array, okay, and just stick to array and for loops, if else, correct.
Yeah.
No need to go to any inbuilt libraries. Try to solve those using these things only.
Yeah.
So you will understand a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay? Write a code, try to optimize that code, try to make some revisions. I mean, can we save anything, you have to just figure out two things, correct. You know how to calculate the time complexity, right?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
Correct. You know how to calculate the space complexity.
Yes.
Correct.
That I'm still a bit iffy, but I can do it.
In simple, let's say if I have array of 10, if I'm using another array of 10, it means I'm using more than O of n, that is n log n.
Yeah.
Correct. If I'm instead of using uh, 10, I'm using anything between 10 to 100, that is n log n. And if I'm using anything above 100, that is n square. Anything up to 10, that is only n,
Yeah.
right? So we have to save more space. There is no need to create unnecessary variables, right? In this way, you can find out that whenever you will write the code, you have to just find out the time complexity and space complexity, correct? And then
Yeah.
you have to work on that. So is there any way to reduce that? Correct?
Yeah.
So if anything else is there, drop a message on WhatsApp. We'll connect again. I don't have any issues. Okay. And we will cover each and everything. The
Yeah.
part which was left, that was just a second. The composition part, correct? So the
Yeah.
composition, we can create object of one class into another class. So just to show it, just write any
Right.
two classes.
Sorry.
Just write any two classes. I'll show it.
Okay. I'll just write it here.
Let's say let's write class tire.
Okay.
Okay, tire. Then you can write a class called as engine. Okay, fine. Again, write engine. Yep. Now write a class called as car.
Okay. So here there's no inheritance, right? You're directly
Yes.
just.
Yes. Here we do not make use of inheritance. So instead of inheritance, we go for the composition. So what exactly we do? in the private car, inside car, private, in the private section, we go for tire T or any variable you can give them, right? And after that, engine E or engine, you can give anything.
Yeah.
So what we have tried here, we just created the variables or the data members of another class.
Yeah.
Correct. So this is called as composition, where one class contains objects of another class. That is composition.
Yeah.
Correct. We do not prefer, I mean, these two things are different, the inheritance and composition. Whenever there is a relation, there is always a relation between two classes. Correct. So currently if we see, the relation between car and engine is car has engine.
Yeah.
Correct. That's why we go for composition. Whenever there is a relation between two classes that exist, and that is of type has a. Correct. So
Yeah.
car has tires, car has AC, car has sound system. Correct. If relation is of type has a, we go for composition. Rest of the things are exactly same. Here we cannot achieve polymorphism, runtime polymorphism. We
Yeah.
cannot provide any functions. Okay. But in inheritance we can do that.
Yeah.
Now, in what is inheritance, whenever we find there is a relation between two classes that is of type is a relation. For example, a student is a person, employee, sorry, HR, and HR is a employee, a manager is a employee. Correct.
Yeah.
There is a relationship between between two classes, we go for the inheritance. And rest of the things, I mean, if there is has a relationship, we go for the composition. Okay. I mean, it's not a big topic, but it's just like you should know about these things. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we'll stop here. And if you have any doubts, anything, you can message me anytime. You can message on the group. You can ping me directly. I don't have any issues. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I will do that definitely.
Okay. And if you
Uh,
need, let's say, more assignments, feel free to ask me whenever I'll get free. I'll just drop a few questions for you. Okay.
yeah, I'm waiting for a C++ interview. I was asked a questions on threads in that, like there was a program I had to write what was wrong with it, so I wrote a bit on that, and now
Mhm.
there's going to be probably another round, but I'm still waiting for their answer. They said they're
Okay.
taking some time. So for that, before that interview, like we can connect if that's okay.
Sure, sure. Completely fine. I don't have any issues.
Yeah.
Anytime, whenever you need, I mean, if you need my help, I'll be available. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Then all the best. And I
Yeah. Thank
hope
you so much.
you will get a job very soon. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
take
Thank
it
you so
in.
much. This was really helpful. Like my confidence has improved. I need to practice a lot as well. But yeah,
Yep.
this has
Rest
been a
of the thing,
really
I mean, you know the concepts, you know how to deliver that. You are good in communication. I mean, um, everything is good. The only thing which was lacking is the confidence. Few concepts where you were unaware of it because you have worked more on Python, so you were not sure about those concepts. So I just revised those concepts. And apart from
okay.
that, yeah, the coding part you have to practice. I mean, no one can help you in that. So
Yeah,
you have to do it only.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I will. I will.
Yeah, fine. So now, I mean, uh, if your earlier interview, I would, if given if I want to give you a rating out of 10 for the first interview, I would have given you something around 2 or 3.
Okay.
Okay. For this, at least I'll give 6 to 7.
Okay.
7,
Yeah.
not even 6. Everything was good. At least you realized your mistakes. And I know it was not purpose. I mean, you didn't do it for the purposefully, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, apart from that, everything was great. But you have to be more precise. You have to be more, I mean, give the precise answer and to the point answers.
Yes.
Even if you are
Definitely.
elaborating that, just make sure that few keywords are there which are mandatory in that question. So you have to answer in that fashion only. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we will connect again whenever you need. Till that time, all the best. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Have a nice day. Okay.
You too. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.